Hey everyone, Becky here, and today I'm going to be showing you another healthy holiday recipe. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make my version of a Christmas pecan pie. Now everything in this recipe is made with real foods. That means nothing is processed, nothing is refined, and nothing is artificial. So let's get started!
The tools you will need for this recipe are a food processor, a 9-inch pie pan, and aluminum foil. To start this recipe, you are going to need a half a cup of pitted medjool dates and 3/4 cups of boiling water. What you're going to do here is just plop the dates into the boiling water, and you're going to set them aside while we make our crust. For the crust ingredients, you will need 2.5 cups of almond flour, 2 tablespoons of coconut flour, half a teaspoon of sea salt, 4 tablespoons of cold cubed butter, 1 egg, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of ice water. Now you're going to make your crust, starting with the almond flour and the coconut flour, as well as your sea salt, and you're going to mix this together. Then you are going to add in your cold cubed butter, and then you are going to put the food processor on a pulse, turning it on and off, on and off, on and off. You are then going to stop after a little while, and you're going to check how your crust is doing. Now there's going to be a little bit of chunks in here, and I see there's a big chunk of butter, so we're going to keep on pulsing. Then we're going to stop again and check how our crust is doing, and yep, there's still some big chunks of butter, so we're going to keep on pulsing. Now we're going to stop a third time here because you can see that the crust is starting to come up on the sides, and that's a good sign. Looking at this, there's very little chunks in here. Still some, but not as big as they were. So this is exactly where we need to be, as long as it's kind of coming together when you plop it together in your hand. We're ready for the next ingredient. Now you're going to crack in your egg straight into the crust, as well as adding 1 tablespoon of your ice cold water, and we'll check this later once we've blended it a little bit. So you're going to pulse again.
Now at this point, just feeling this and pushing it together, it's coming together really nice. So we might not need those extra tablespoons of water. And the reason for this is I'm living in a cold climate. It's wintry and snowy outside, and you might be living somewhere that's more humid, so you might not need that extra tablespoon of water. Just make sure that you do get to this point where it's coming together really nicely. Well, it's almost like cookie dough. Now you're going to want to take your crust off, take your blade out, and dump in your crust. Don't be afraid to get in there with your fingers and scrape all the good stuff out.
Now with the normal crust, you would have it sit in the fridge forever and ever to be able to roll it out. But with this crust, you just plop it in and you just form it with your hands, bring it up on the sides, make it all smooth and even all the way around. It's really nice and easy to work with.
Now you'll bake this for about 10 to 12 minutes in your preheated oven that was set at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You'll find that when it's done, it'll be nice and golden brown.
For our ingredients to make the filling, you will need 2 cups of chopped pecans, that half a cup of dates, and 3/4 cups of boiling water that we had sitting aside, 1 cup of maple syrup, or you could also use 1 cup of honey, half a cup of melted coconut oil, or you could also use half a cup of melted butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3/4 teaspoons of sea salt, and 3 eggs beaten. To make the filling, you are going to put your medjool dates and boiling water both into the food processor, and you are going to blend these together. And now you'll have a nice light paste. It's almost like a caramel. Then you're going to add in your maple syrup, your coconut oil, your vanilla extract, and your sea salt. And you're going to blend these together. And last but not least, put in your 3 eggs and blend. Now you're going to take your chopped pecans and you're going to place them on the bottom of your crust in an even layer. Then you're going to take your filling and place it all over the pecans. Now you're going to take some aluminum foil and you're going to wrap this around your pie pan. Now you're going to put this in the oven for 30 minutes wrapped, and then we're going to check it again. Then we're going to take the aluminum foil off and place it in the oven again for 15 minutes, and then we'll check it once again. After that 15 minutes, you're going to check and see where we're at. It should be mostly firm, but if it's a little bit jiggly, place it back in the oven for another few minutes. Now this part is the hardest. I know it was for me, but you're going to want to have this pie sit for at least 1 hour before cutting into it.
Time to eat some pie.
Really good.
Mm-hmm.
Want to buy?